This is the Sennheiser Momentum 3, the third generation of their noise-canceling, high-quality headset. It offers a bunch of new features. Most of them you'll find pretty useful in various conditions. I've been using those for a couple of weeks and I can report back on my findings. I've been trying those in a bunch of different environments, from very quiet to very noisy, and also different types of noisy. So right off the bat, you have a headset that's comprised of a leather band. So that is a leather band with a piece of foam under, so it sits nice on your head and is comfortable. Both ear cups are quite large and they fit large ears quite easily, and there's also a memory foam on each side, so this allows you to have a very comfortable fitting. Passively, they are blocking some of the sound, so if you just want to have them on your head, you can hear some of the sound being blocked, but it's not enough. These are actually much more powerful than that, and we'll get back to that in a minute. The headband is made of aluminum, and that's where you can adjust the fitting on your head. Both ear cups are set on a kind of like a ball joint so that they can move freely a couple of degrees on each side. This makes sure that depending on your head size and shape, or if you have a hat or a toque or something, you can always adjust them comfortably, and they always have a nice seal around your ears. On the left side, there's not much. There's microphones on both sides to record the ambient noise, and when you enable transparency mode, you can hear your surroundings. And on the right side, that's where all the controls are. In the case of this model, there's no on or off switch. You just unfold them like this. That's how they connect to your phone. And when you're done with them, you just fold them back up and they're closing down. So this way you conserve battery life for a very long time. On the right side, you have a few buttons. The ones in the middle are your usual up and down volume and the play pause button. You can also use these to do phone calls or to answer phone calls. And the last one on the bottom is your smart assistant button, where on iOS can trigger Siri and on Android can trigger Google Assistant. On the top, you have a switch that can trigger noise cancelling on or off, and also switch to transparent listening. Before going into details on the performance, and especially the noise cancelling performance, let me just give you a few interesting tidbits I found on this headset. The design by itself is amazing. So a mix of leather and metal that always looked nice on this specific Momentum line. And this version, Sennheiser really kept this aesthetic simple yet refined. Really liked it. You still have the little curly cable here that is the signature design for this set of headsets. So in terms of comfort, as you can see, they fit quite nicely. You have a nice seal around your head all the way around because of the nice squishy pads, both sides. Headband, you have the little leather and the cushion here, so they're quite comfortable. Cool thing is, like I said earlier, flipping them on or off is quite nice, and compared to other headsets where you kind of forget to turn them off, and they usually have like a period where they stay on and eventually they turn themselves off automatically. But during that time, if it's like half an hour, 15 minutes or an hour or whatever, you consume battery life. But in this case, as soon as you're done, you flip them closed and the battery is conserved like that. So that's a pretty nice feature. So as I said earlier, you can always turn on the active noise cancellation, but also there's a transparent listening. So both ear cups have microphones around them, and they're able to transfer all of the surrounding noise to you. So let's say you're walking on the street, you don't want to have an accident because there's cars around, you can always hear your surroundings while continuing to listen to your music or your podcast. So that's always great. They make a good job. It's not irritating. The sound is close to natural. It's not perfect for sure because it's always some kind of a pass-through, but you still have something on your ear cover, so it's a weird feeling at first. But I don't feel any pressure when this mode is on. If you turn on the active cancellation, personally, I've never really suffered from feeling a pressure or of some sort on my ears. I can use these and listen to movies for hours and hours until my ears are actually sweaty. That's when I usually take them off because it's been a while. I've never felt any fatigue or strain or any pressure inside or outside my ears, so that's always a good thing for long listening periods. And now we're coming down to the performance of the active noise cancelling. So usually other products in that category where they have active noise cancelling, they're pretty good when you have a constant noise, like an AC running or a fan or an airplane. That's, I would say, kind of easy to cover. Where it's harder usually is when you have a short burst of rapid sound. For example, I used to pass by some construction work on my way to work, and with the Bose QC35, whenever there was like a quick and peak of sound, usually you can hear like even a thunk or something like that in your ears, and that's pretty unnerving. It's not the natural sound, it's kind of half mushed but still too high and too irritating, so that's not ideal. In this case, I also have more and more construction work near my workplace. You got to thank Montreal for that, and they are actually behaving much better. Every big sound, every bang or every sudden noise was way lower than I was expecting, to a point where they were mostly flat. A few of them actually peaked, but there was nothing that was unnerving or that was aggressing my ears. Thumbs up to Sennheiser to be able to cover those types of sound, because these I think are the harder types of sound to cancel, because they are suddenly appearing and they are only short-lived, so that's hard to really gauge and cancel them efficiently. Regarding AC noise or fan noise or all other very constant noise, they make an amazing job. It's basically transparent. I hear nothing at all. In the metro, the humming of the metro, the moving of the metro, everything is almost inexistent. So that's pretty amazing. So doing a good noise cancelling is a hard thing to do. Many companies do it right nowadays. So all the DSPs in headphones are getting faster and more reliable. They're able to cover a wider array of frequencies. But what's also very hard to do is, once you get this part done properly, you also have to reproduce music correctly, and not just okay, it has to be good, because at the price that this model is and other models, if you have to compromise between music quality and noise cancelling, it's not an ideal scenario. You want to get great noise cancelling, but at the same time great sound. And this is where the Sennheiser Momentum 3 really shine, is they don't compromise on sound quality. The sound quality of this headset is actually very good. Compared to other high-end Sonys I've tested, they're amazing. Great bass response, great in the highs and the mids, nothing too exaggerated like the Beats, for example, which are too much bass heavy for many. This is not a flat response. They do have a coloring on their sound, but it still is a great reproduction. You can really hear some instruments and some little differences in songs you really know and you heard listen to 1,000 times. So that's great. So you really have the best of both worlds in terms of active noise cancelling and sound reproduction. So that's always a great thing. So one tiny detail, you can always plug them with your 3.5mm jack. There's a cable in the little pouch that comes with it. They also charge via USB-C, so that's cool. It's modern, no more USB mini or micro. And in the app, you can always customize a couple of options. So some people might have trouble with active noise cancelling. They feel a pressure in their ear canal, or they feel like in some kind of uneasiness. In this case, you can, not on the headset by the way, but just on the app, you can always change the settings for that. So there are 3 levels. The first one, the lowest one, is anti-pressure. So it's a good balance between some noise cancelling, but not too much, therefore not the pressure feeling that some people have. The second level is wind, so it's mostly filtering steady frequencies like an AC, a fan, or a subway. And then the last one, which is the max, this is the one that flushes out most of the noise around you, if not all of them. So that's the top level one, the one I prefer, which I use all the time. You have a few other settings. For example, when you want transparent hearing and you turn it on, is it because you want to hear somebody talk, or is it just because you want to be aware of your surroundings? So you can turn on or off your music when you're switching modes. So it's depending on your preference, you can change that. You also have a built-in equalizer, so you can already, from a good noise that they provide, you can always customize it. If you're the kind of person that really likes the Beats bass heavy sound, you can always go in that EQ and crank up the bass a bit more, and that's gonna be sent to your headset. So it's not the app or like Spotify or Apple Music, it's really the headset that's going to have its own EQ. So any sound coming out of your phone will be preset to this EQ. The final thing is what they call smart pause, which is not when you're folding down the headset, it disconnects from your phone and turns off. It's when you remove the headset from your ears and you put it down on the table or on your neck. that's actually pausing the music. Just like the AirPods do when you remove one or you remove both, they pause your music. This thing does the same thing. It just pauses the music when you take them off, and it's pretty great. One other way to conserve battery life is this. This doesn't play for by mistake. Some other headset in the past kept on playing until you actually hit pause. So you could, by mistake, for example, have your music continue to play or your podcast, and then your queue would be empty at the end of the day. So it's not the case with this one. As soon as they're removed from your ears, they're paused. Overall, I really love the Momentum 3. It's one of the best quality headset out there without getting into the whole audiophile realm where you spend thousands and thousands of dollars. For the price that these are, it's an amazing value. You got both best of both worlds, so an amazing noise cancelling and an amazing sound quality for your music. So and the comfort is great. I don't really know what you could ask more. Personally, I'm trying to find something wrong with these, and I cannot find any wrong feature or any bad feature. It's packed with more features than I was expecting, and the quality is always as great. All the way back when they released the first Momentum set of headphones, I reviewed them and they were amazing. This is still the same case, still an amazing sound, still an amazing set of feature. Really nothing wrong with it. So for $400 US and $529 Canadian, it's an amazing value. Highly recommend those. If you want to pick up a nice set of headphones, this is one product to look at. There's going to be a link in the description below to my written review, and links also to different stores like Amazon where you can purchase them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. This was the review of the Sennheiser Momentum 3. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I'm going to hang out there later. And if you have any other suggestion of products you want me to test, please feel free to leave a comment. Give me a little thumbs up and subscribe if it's not done. There's going to be a bunch more reviews coming in the future. Peace!